Hi everybody, this is Osiris, writer, reporter for the Culver City News, Unk Entertainment Stones in the Color Bearer blog, and your weekly show host for 15 Minutes of Show. Now today we are doing something very, very different. We are in Los Feliz Village. It's very nice over here, very quaint, and I am speaking to the man, and the reason I say the man, in my book, he is a national hero. His name is Jose Cofino. He has a program, it's an organization, a foundation called Beyond ALS. For those of you that don't know what ALS is, it is the Lou Gehrigs disease. ALS stands for Amyotrophic Lateral Sclerosis. So it is a neurological disorder that he has been battling. And say hi, Jose.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, don't forget to talk up.
Oh, that's right. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Jose, tell us, I know I read a little bit about your background, about when did you get diagnosed that you knew you had ALS? It was different from the other neurological symptoms or different from other things that most people experience. Talk to us about that.
So I've known that I have ALS for the last 2.5 years or so. Interestingly, ALS, there is no test for ALS.
I didn't know that.
They have to rule out everything else, from MS to any other neurological diseases, to problems with your back, to Lyme disease.
Oh, wow.
And once they rule out everything else, and they say no, 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 then what's left is ALS. And that's how you learn that you have Lou Gehrigs disease.
So I know some of the symptoms are weak muscles. I know the throat, they said the throat narrows. A lot of neurological disorders have some of those similar symptoms. So what makes ALS so devastating? I know Parkinson's, all of those kind of things. What makes ALS so devastating?
Well, what makes it devastating is that it has a mortality rate of 100%, meaning everybody who is diagnosed dies of ALS eventually. There is no treatment, there is no cure. And typically, people from the time that they're diagnosed until death, on average, is 3 to 5 years. Some people die within 6 months. Others, like Dr. Stephen Hawking, live for 50 years with it.
Yes.
But on average, it will kill you in 3 to 5 years. And while it's a neurological disease, what happens is it actually debilitates your muscles.
Yes.
In my case, it started in my lower body, so with my left foot. I find it hard to walk these days, to go upstairs and so forth. The disease just continues to progress. It will progress up my body. Eventually, I won't be able to use my upper body. Eventually, what kills you is, frankly, the inability to breathe. Your diaphragm.
Yeah, narrowing, huh? The passage is narrow. They shrink or something, or what? They don't get a signal?
The diaphragm just stops functioning. The diaphragm is the muscle that helps, get in and out, get air in and out. It just freezes. It ceases to function, and without a ventilator, you cannot breathe.
So I know you and Ben, your partner, is Ben helping you with Beyond ALS? He's a part of that whole movement. And then I want to talk to you about Augie's Quest. Okay. Because I know Augie's Quest is doing some work.
And absolutely. So Ben Trust, my partner of almost 17 years now.
I love it.
Is absolutely a part of this. Anybody who goes through ALS, whoever their friends and family are around them, is a part of the disease. You have to be. So in fact, we often say we've been diagnosed.
You have.
I've been diagnosed.
Yes.
It's really the both of us. So yes, we founded Beyond ALS together. And the name, by the way, it comes from asking people to see us, to see me as not just a disease.
Yeah, but a person.
But a person that has a lot to offer. And secondly, we hope and think of a time when ALS will no longer be a death sentence. Today it is.
Absolutely.
Not a cure, not a treatment. And you can choose to either curl up and wait for that day when you die, or you can fight back. And we chose for Beyond ALS to fight back.
Yeah, you chose to really be proactive about it.
That's right.
Now I want to ask you, Augie's Quest. Augie's Quest was set up, it's the guy's name, Augie Nieto, is that his name? And it was set up to find really radical kinds of cures for ALS. Is that correct or no?
That is correct. So Augie Nieto was diagnosed almost 10 years ago. Interestingly enough, he is a man who, in his professional life, he actually founded Life Cycle and Life Fitness. So he made a living out of making sure that people were fit and healthy, and he himself was very fit and healthy. And 9.5 years ago, the universe, in one of those little quirks, he was diagnosed with ALS himself. Today he is paralyzed except for being able to move his eyes. And he types by using roller balls with his feet. And that's how he communicates, and that's how he's written books.
Wow, that's amazing. This is why I don't have a lot of tolerance for people that don't have anything wrong and they don't seem to do anything in life. It bothers me. What I want to know about that is that now, what about, I brought this up before in an interview. There are lots of alternatives to medicine. One of them are isochronic tones. Are you familiar with isochronics? They say, or if you use those kind of things, that they can affect and lull the right and left hemisphere of the brain to synchronize it so that it gets itself back into sync. What do you think about alternative things like that? I mean, do you think that that would be something that in the future they might consider, that sound does affect not only the nervous system, it affects the whole world, when it sounds. So what do you think about that?
We're pursuing everything that we can. So part of what we now live in Santa Barbara. We wanted to live in a place that's soulful and peaceful and beautiful and so forth. But I started taking Qigong classes, yoga. I do take herbal supplements, both Chinese and Indian supplements. Because you really, when Western medicine doesn't have an answer, you really start looking for other solutions.
Because they'll just tell you you're going to die.
Sure. I mean, again, you can just choose to do nothing, or you can start looking for other solutions.
Yes.
Now, the other piece, though, is, and you mentioned it with Augie's Quest and what Beyond ALS is doing, and what I'm personally doing is looking for solutions even within Western medicine. So we're involved with an institute, a research institute in Cambridge, Massachusetts, called ALS Therapy Development Institute.
Okay.
And their whole thing, by the way, is, if your house is on fire, you don't first ask what caused the fire, you put out the fire.
Put it out the fire.
Their whole thing is, let's put out the fire. Let's find solutions for people who are living with ALS today. And as part of that, I just entered a research study, which I think is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah. What was it? What did it involve? What were the kind of questions?
It's called Precision Medicine Program.
I think I saw that. Now, is that a part of what Augie's doing? Is Augie tied into that? Augie is purely medication and
Augie's chairman of the board of ALS-TDI.
I mean, his quest, what he's doing for drugs.
He is 100% supporting the institute. And his quest is to raise funds to find a solution.
Right.
We have, Beyond ALS has also raised funds for the institute, but we also decided that I would put my body where my mouth is.
I like that saying.
And so about a month and a half ago, we went to Cambridge and I had blood drawn, and I had a skin sample taken, skin tissue, biopsy. And what they're doing is, from the blood, they are mapping my genome.
Yeah, trying to do the stem cell thing, right?
And then, with the skin, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
With the skin, they are actually, even as we speak, growing the Cofino line of stem cells.
Yeah.
From which they'll be able to grow neurological cells, nervous system cells, and test thousands of medicines and other things against those to see if any one of those will slow down, stop, or reverse the growth of ALS in my body. The other thing to remember about ALS is that I mentioned that some people die within 6 months, some people live for 50 years.
Right.
It is what's referred to as a very, very heterogeneous disease. What that means is my brand of ALS is very different than somebody else, than Augie's and somebody else's, which makes research very, very hard. In 75 years since Lou Gehrigs in essence, succumb to the disease. Western science has been very frustrated because they're trying to find the one bullet or one size fits all silver bullet kind of thing. Well, that doesn't happen.
The mold.
Yeah, it is so different for so many different people that it really, you really do need to take it down to that level. And precision medicine, I think, is the future of medicine, no matter what.
It has to be, because everyone is so different. Your bloodline, all your genes, your ancestry, where you came from, who died with what in your family. I mean, I don't understand why they can't get that in their head.
Well, they've gotten in their head, and then finally there is, you know, it's almost like science fiction, right?
It is.
You think about some of the stuff going on. Everybody talks about the human genome,
Bionics.
talk about whatever, and it just, it's all these things coming together that basically says, look, Jose, for your particular type of ALS, we are going to try to find the thing that's going to help you. It may not help anybody else,
But it will help you.
but it may help me.
And that's the whole point.
And hopefully you start creating that knowledge base that if somebody else shows up with the same kind of genetic makeup that I did, and they find that this particular thing helped me,
Then they can
have it exactly, and they could have an answer.
This bringing up something else. Now, you don't look like you have anything. Not only are you a handsome man, you're happy for someone that has ALS, and it is serious, a serious, degree of ALS. What I want to know, tell the audience, what's it like on a daily basis for you to live with it, and do you feel that people's blood type should be thought about and considered before giving them medication? Do you think that it's something, you mentioned a little bit about precision medicine. Do you think that the blood type should be considered when people are administering medicine and certain types of diet and nutritional plans? What do you think about that? Talk about how your daily life is.
My day to day.
Yes.
Yeah, people say, how can you stay so positive? And my answer is, well, what's the alternative, right? I mean, I don't know.
Either get busy living or get busy dying.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to curl up in the corner and just wait.
Absolutely.
But it is the first thing I think of in the morning and the last thing I think of at night. And I have to, because for me to get out of bed, it's not a...
It's a production, huh?
It's a production. I have to think about it. I have to think about moving my legs, and when I stand up, thankfully I can still walk.
Yes.
But there are times, okay, so now I'm standing up and I have to think about, okay, which foot is going to go first and how do I get from point to point? All of a sudden, the distances that you wouldn't even think about, like, let's say that you get up in the middle of the night because you have to go to the bathroom. So from your bed to your bathroom, you just kind of stumble through, and you go to the bathroom, do your thing, come back. For me, it's actually a planful journey to go from the bed to think about how am I going to make it to the bathroom.
To the bathroom and back to the bed, or back to get your clothes on. I'd like to talk to Ben. Ben, can you get on camera for just a second? We're going to talk to Ben Trust, who is Jose's wonderful and adorable partner. We should all be so lucky. So Ben, can you get a chair next to him right real quick? And I need to talk to you for a second.
Okay.
Hi, Ben.
Hi.
How are you? Such handsome men. What is it like helping as a family member? What kind of attitude do you think that a person should have if they're going to be around someone that has something that can be debilitating, that is debilitating? How do you think their person should be? What kind of attitude should they have?
You have to be real.
Talk up.
You can't pretend nothing's going on.
Right.
You have to acknowledge what's happening. Jose and I have had some very, very
Scary moments, like
scary moments, real conversations about what's going to happen with the disease. What ultimately this means, talking about ventilators and talking about, we have to have doors wide in the house for wheelchairs and stuff we're going to need. Honestly, Jose probably got a better attitude than I do. I'm scared a lot of the time. A lot of the
That's an honest answer.
Well, it is absolutely honest.
Yes.
A lot of the economic pressures that were once shared between us are now, mostly on me. So I'm trying to juggle my business, with the needs that Jose has at home. I leave home scared. Sometimes if I'm going to be gone overnight, I'm frightened because I'm afraid Jose's going to fall.
Yes.
I try to put together some sort of a network of people that can come and check on Jose if something should happen. I have a lockbox for the key.
Okay, good.
And that kind of stuff.
So there are instructions and stuff for anybody that has to take over.
But what's the attitude right now? I want to be there for him. I want to be solid. I want to be able to. I want him to know he can depend on me, but at the same time, I have to sit down because I also have to take care of myself.
Yeah, you're an individual person with your own life.
Yeah.
But do you think that you have to kind of have a happy, kind of optimistic kind of personality? I mean, if I were sick or it had a condition, I wouldn't want to be around somebody that's a Debbie Downer, that they're, that they think just as negative as the doctors or someone else. So,
I'm not going to tell you that I'm happy. I'm going to tell you that I am appreciative of the time we have together.
Yes.
And I try to make every moment
Last.
special,
Valuable.
last. But being phony happy is not going to do it. But the fact is that we have happy moments, we have good moments, we have a routine every day when we're home of things that we do together, and it's simple things. When we go to the beach every day, or he goes to the beach and I go for a hike around the beach. Or we go to a market we love to buy some fine foods, and maybe choose dinner, and it's just little things we do every day that make it special.
And it's a good point too, because you don't waste time on small stuff that doesn't matter. The drama becomes real. It becomes like we have to take care of each other. We don't have any time to worry about what anybody in Hollywood is doing and those kind of things.
No.
Which I really love that you are able to have that kind of partnership. One should only hope to be able to have that. We're almost at the end of our interview, but I wanted to ask Jose, how can we get more involved with Beyond ALS? How can we get more involved with supporting this kind of thing and your movement? Where can we find you? What are your websites? Talk to us.
So, two things that you can do that people can do to help. One is educate themselves about ALS, and the second, obviously, we know that there is a solution for ALS. The only thing that's standing in our way is having the funds to be able to find that solution.
And where can we make those donations?
Both of those things you can find at beyondals.org.
Okay.
And on Facebook at Beyond ALS on Facebook.
Okay.
There we post constantly the latest research. We post constantly stories from other people living with ALS, caregivers of people with ALS, as well as there is a donate here, and 100% of that money currently goes straight to research at ALS Therapy Development Institute in Cambridge. 100% of the money goes straight to the lab, and it's working.
That Cambridge area, they're kind of hip, man. Because I'm
Oh, yeah.
telling you, I belong to an eye institute there, and I've never had to wear glasses.
There you go.
And I'm serious, because they have a lot of hip things in Cambridge, Massachusetts, at some of those places that they do research for.
Lots of smart people back there.
Yeah.
Just a little cold.
It is freezing.
Don't worry.
Okay, and you two, you live in Santa Barbara. Now, is there anything in Santa Barbara that's going on around your campaign, or that's just where you live?
That's where we live. We're actually doing projects and fundraising with people all over the place. One of the things that we're doing is also helping businesses do well by doing good. So we've established a relationship with a merchant services company out of Santa Barbara.
Right.
If they sign up to lower, in essence, their credit card, the company, Santa Barbara Merchant Services, will donate 10% of their fees straight to ALS-TDI.
Oh, wow.
So we're doing work. We're doing work with wineries there, so for ways by which people, it's not just writing a check. It is how businesses can become involved and people can become involved in a deeper
Absolutely.
way.
And I'm sure that other people have things that they now can share with the employee or things like that. So it really is a great cause. You know what? We're at the end of our show. It has been lovely meeting you and Ben, and much success to you, and anything we can do to support his cause, people, please get involved. You could be one of those people that's diagnosed in ALS. It is something that is not notified. It bears no prejudice towards race, creed, culture, anything. Anyone can get it. So please get involved. This has been Osiris, Cover City News, Unc Entertainment, 15 minutes to show, and that's a wrap.